Konami Computer Entertainment presents Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, the definitive stealth action experience with extraordinary depth and new gameplay mechanics. Its story's a little long-winded and over the top, but it's everything fans of the series have come to expect and love. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is set in the post-World War II 1960s during the time of the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. Actual events in American history, such as the Cuban Missile Crisis, have been rewritten to coincide with this chapter in the Metal Gear series. MGS3 is the story of Naked Snake, the first Snake in the Fox unit. It provides the backstory of the entire Metal Gear series and answers some of the questions left lingering from Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. As the story unfolds, players are introduced to Dr. Nikolai Sokolov, a Soviet scientist that defected to the United States and chief designer of a new Soviet superweapon. The sexy and persuasive spy Eva, a young and overconfident Major Ocelot of the Spetsnaz military faction, Colonel Volgin, the electrified leader of the Soviet GRU army, and Fox's former Cobra unit, which is comprised of the pain, the fear, the end, the fury, the sorrow, and legendary World War II hero, the Boss. Snake's mission is threefold. Infiltrate the great Soviet fortress Groznygrad to rescue Dr. Sokolov, destroy the nightmarish new weapon that he's designed, and take down the Boss, Snake's former mentor and teacher. Right from the start, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater has the feel of a high-dollar Hollywood production. Produced and directed by Hideo Kojima, Metal Gear Solid 3 also has some Hollywood heavyweights added to the credits, including the musical score by Harry Gregson Williams and opening title design by Kyle Cooper. The graphics got a major upgrade in this installment, as the series moves out of military bases and into the dense jungle. This introduces new stealth elements like murky water and tall wavy fields of grass. The jungle comes complete with all the sounds of nature: chirping birds, crocodiles, and snakes in the grass. In the Russian jungle, the name of the game is survival. Not only does Snake have to eat, but he also has to stop to treat wounds, even if it's in the heat of battle. The new cure screen allows you to see and tend to all of Snake's ailments, such as snake bites, broken bones, food poisoning, severe burns, and gunshot wounds. Just below the life bar is Snake's stamina meter. When it gets down to about half, you'll hear Snake's stomach grumble, and it'll repeat until you go to the food screen and give him something to eat. The amount of stamina recovered depends on what's consumed. The resident jungle animals and plants provide Snake with the essential nourishment to continue on his mission. Shoot fruits dangling in the trees. Kill animals to receive ration packs, or use the tranquilizer gun to put them to sleep and store them in a cage to eat later. Having this direct control over your health, rather than just taking a health potion, is the kind of detail Metal Gear games thrive on. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is very easy to jump right into. The basic controls are the same. Moving Snake through the jungle is very smooth. However, there are times when you get stopped in your tracks when trying to cut corners. The enemy soldiers are relentless in alert mode, and if you are spotted, be prepared to do more than just crawl into some nearby brush. The enemy soldier support team will do their best to isolate Snake and take him down. With the addition of the new camouflage screen, you now have the option to change Snake's face paint and uniform color to blend in with the surrounding areas, which can, in some cases, drastically reduce the chances of being spotted by patrolling enemy soldiers. There are a ton of cutscenes in Metal Gear Solid 3, and some of them are quite long. Though they do provide necessary information, you will have a lot of downtime in some areas due to the lengthy dialogue in several conversations. Metal Gear Solid 3 is packed with weapons and gadgets, like active sonar, an experimental M16, an MK-22 tranquilizer pistol, an M1911 45 caliber pistol, a rocket launcher, and an AK-47, just to name a few. If you run short on weapons, it's because you haven't been searching far and wide. There are some issues with the camera, which often maintains a bird's eye view of your environment. It does help in open areas, but in some of the tight spots, when it just pans to one side or the other, it's not a big help. But it does add to the intensity of certain situations in the game. It can be very frustrating getting attacked from off-screen and not knowing where to send your retaliation. Created by Hideo Kojima, the blockbuster award-winning Metal Gear series has been the inspiration for games like Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Since its debut in 1987, the Metal Gear games have always been recognized for their original game design and dramatic plot twists that leave gamers begging for more. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is no exception.